What on earth did we just witness? I have absolutely no words. The Cubs win 13-11. Friday 120 game against the D-backs. I don't even know where to start. Let's dig into this today on the Cubs Daily Podcast. All right, we're going to start negative because why not? I can talk about the bullpen all day. I don't really find too much value in it. I think I've touched on it in 2 of my last 4 to 5 daily podcast episodes. It's a problem. Everybody knows it's a problem. It's a matter of how aggressive the organization is in correcting it or how confident they are that the fixes are internal. That's the kind of push and pull of this. And the reality is we're not going to have the answer for this probably for another month or two. The 2 stats that sum up this bullpen can be boiled down as such. Number 1, Cubs relievers have the 5th highest walk rate in baseball. Not good. Number 2, they have the 2nd lowest strikeout rate. Also not good. Entering today, they had one of the lowest barrel rates as relievers. Perhaps a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. So they weren't really getting crushed. It was more a matter of in zone, out of zone, ball in play, etc. And then they gave up a few barrels today. So that's going to inflate a bit. But listen, I'm only going to complain for that minute. That's it. No more bullpen talk. We're going right into this game, and I don't even really know where to start in recapping it. But I'll start with another simple stat, so to speak. Entering Friday, Carson Kelly had the highest weighted runs created plus in baseball. This stat is basically asking, how good of a hitter have you been? And he was right above Aaron Judge. That's not a bad list to be on. And then Kelly goes out and hits 2 home runs, including a massive 3-run homer in the bottom of the 8th inning to give the Cubs a shot after going down in the top of the 8th inning. So how did we get to that point in the game where Carson Kelly needed to hit another home run in order to keep the Cubs alive? You may not believe it if you haven't seen the box score. You probably have, but it was 2-1 Cubs going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah, the final score was 11-13. The Cubs won. That is insane. The Cubs score 5 in the bottom of the 7th, 4 of those on an Ian Happ grand slam. Really fun moment, absolutely torched the ball to right field. And then they got another on a Michael Busch single. So it's now 7-1. The game is over, right? Absolutely. No, it's not. Jordan Wicks comes in, just recalled from the minors the next inning, gives up 3 consecutive singles and gets pulled for Porter Hodge. At the moment, watching that live, I kind of thought Jordan Wicks might be tipping because Counsell after 3 batters came right out and pulled him. Partially surprising, especially when you see the camera shots of Tommy Hotovy potentially going out and then Counsell pulling Hotovy back into the dugout and he going out himself. But I thought it was tipping. I don't think it's tipping because when you look at where those hits were, he basically threw a changeup and 2 fastballs directly over the middle of the plate. So yeah, if you do that versus major league hitters, you're going to get beat up. Porter Hodge then comes in, bases loaded, and gives up a grand slam to the Cubs killer, Eugenio Suarez, who just decimated the Cubs back in Arizona. Really frustrating player, I think, for Cubs fans to watch. Hodge then gets pulled a few batters later. Looked relatively shaky, but again, this is not too much of a black mark because most of these runs are going to go back to Jordan Wicks, who didn't record it out and has given up 3 runs. So that's an infinite ERA. It's not going to look good, I imagine. As Wicksy, he'll want to get back out there and as quickly as possible revert that ERA back to a tolerable level. But Hodge gets pulled a few batters later. Ethan Roberts comes in, and he gives up a home run to Lourdes Gurriel. It's now 11-7 D-backs. Yeah, a 10 spot in the top of the 8th inning. You go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Carson Kelly, here's what we were talking about. Big 3-run home run, his 2nd of the game. Absolute cookie fastball from Bryce Jarvis, a reliever for the Diamondbacks. Now you're down 1, right? The hope is back. The energy is here. Kyle Tucker then steps to the plate and hits a 2-run home run off Joe Mantiply, a funky lefty, on an 0-0 sinker. He jumped him. It was an impressive swing, and yeah, he pimped it. Watch the replay. Really fun moment there. Defining moment of his Cubs career so far. And I know everyone is hoping that we have a lot more of those moments to stack up over this one. Hopefully in October, because that is what the goal is at the end of the day. Seiya Suzuki then hits a home run off Mantiply. We're looking at 13-11, and that's where the score would end. The Cubs win an absolutely wild game that I struggle to even contextualize in the context of this season. But let's be honest, this has been the Cubs' year so far. The best offense in baseball by a variety of metrics, followed by the bullpen coming up short in a variety of spots. But to this point, and this is critical, the highs of the offense have been higher than the lows of the bullpen. So the net my friends, is a 13-9 record in first place, sole possession of it, of the NL Central, and a clear path to getting into the playoffs, circumventing the wild card round, especially if they can jump whoever is the second best record in the NL in terms of division winners. It's a promising outlook, but yeah, the bullpen needs to be cleaned up. How much does it need to be cleaned up? Perhaps you weigh that based on how much Carson Kelly will be able to hold this WRC Plus atop the leaderboard. He's been unbelievable this season. Now, I did have some other stuff planned, and then this game just went absolutely haywire. I was going to do a Colin Ray breakdown. He's changed a couple things. I'll probably push that to a future start or another day, so look forward to that coming out soon on the Cubs Daily Podcast here. This game was just crazy, so what I'm going to do is throw some sound. We're going to hear from Kyle Tucker on the field with Taylor McGregor right after the game ended, as well as everything Craig Counsell has to say about probably the craziest game the Cubs will play all season.
You're new to Fridays at 1:20 here at Wrigley Field. What stood out to you about the game that we just watched unfold?
It was a lot of fun, a little bit of chaos, but it was a lot of fun. You can see all the fans coming out here tonight, or I guess today, and cheering us on and supporting us, so we just want to come out here and try and perform and do our best.
You ambushed the first pitch. What was your mindset when you stepped into the batter's box there?
Biggest thing, especially against him, is just because his sinker is pretty good, so I just don't want to basically roll it over one out or the guy on first, so I was just trying to basically just hunt that and make adjustments to the off-speed pitches, and I was just able to get a good pitch and put a good swing on it.
Did you think your ball the previous inning was out?
You never know with the wind. I was hoping it carried, but I didn't hit it. I hit it okay. I didn't hit it that great, but wind probably helped me out a little bit.
One word to describe the game that we witnessed today.
It was pretty wild. Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Well, if you've seen that one, you've been around for a while.
Same game.
It was, if you keep, I guess if you're in it long enough, you see more and more every time. But it was crazy. We gave up 10 runs in an inning and won. So it was, a wild game, but we kept going, and there's 27 outs in a game, and this kind of proves it. And you're happy just to get out with a win. Yeah, we didn't pitch well in the eighth. We didn't play good defense in the eighth. I can't blame the weather, frankly. It was a lot of hard hit baseballs. They did a nice job, and we couldn't stop the damage. But we come out and we get a leadoff hitter on, and the inning, and their bullpen was a little bit, taxed from the last couple of days in Florida too, and we ended up putting together an unbelievable inning. I think it's 5 homers and 31 at bats or something like that. So, and just good at bats, production, incredible production at the bottom of the lineup. We've been so good with Pete and Carson at that bottom of the lineup. They've really just impacted us for sure offensively.
I'm probably going to shy away from doing a lot of recapping as we go forward on the daily podcast here, but this game warranted it, and I thought the sound was warranted as well, so I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, we got another game. Yeah, another one. Hopefully not 13-11. Some rain in the forecast. Hopefully that holds off. Diamondbacks again, 1:20 on Saturday at Wrigley Field. Zach Gallen versus Ben Brown. Really fun pitching matchup to me. Power in Ben Brown versus what I would say is a mixture of power and precision from Zach Gallen. The D-backs are a slight favorite in this game per sportsbooks. We'll see if that swings overnight as the momentum of this Cubs win sticks. You can watch the game in market on the Marquee Sports Network app, which is always a fantastic place to catch the game. Andy Martinez, our guy at MarqueeSportsNetwork.com, has some instant reaction to this as well. You can check out on our website, and I'm excited to read that. I actually haven't read it yet, but this game in particular warrants, I think, as much consumption of information and just how insane it must have been from the press box from Andy's POV, so I'm excited to read that. And we'll see you tomorrow after Saturday's game. Take care.